Let's charge the damn mound. So Jeff Passan put out a big notes column, and we've got our guy, senior insider Ken Rosenthal, joining us a little bit later on. But
Yeah,
let's
baby.
start with what Passan put out there on Ohtani. He said the Rangers, Red Sox, and Mets, who are among the initial group of suitors, have turned their attention to other players. Among those confirmed by Jeff's sources to still be in the bidding for Ohtani: Dodgers, Cubs, Blue Jays, Angels. And then he said the Giants have long been into Ohtani, but he doesn't really know where they stand. It just hasn't been much out there for him to be able to collect. But I'm going to guess that the Giants are still in. I feel like educated guess the Giants are still in because they're like, whatever he's being offered, we'll go higher. Okay. So thoughts on how this is shaking out, the teams that are kind of out of it now and the teams that are still going for it?
I'm a little surprised about the Mets. You think about Stevie Cohen, you think about, how he goes about his business, and I think that would be unbelievable for the Mets to have him there. The Rangers, I guess I can understand that just because of what they did last year. I mean, if they sign back Monty, which I think they should, or try to at least, um, then I think they're fine there. But it's just one of those things. I think everybody that can get him should go out there and try and get him. So the Mets are that's the one where I'm like, I don't understand that one at all. He would work well in New York. I don't hear anything about the Yankees either. So you know where my bias is. So I want to hear some more. I want to hear some better news on that front, Eric.
I think the Rangers still need to be in. Did you see what he did when he was in Globe Life Park last year? He was hitting those like 470-foot, like 19-degree launch angle rockets to left center. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I think they're flush with money. I think we'll get into it a little bit more. The whole TV deal might have affected that. But, not losing because they're still going to have a TV deal, but they had freaking $111 million last year come in from their TV deal. So I guess I get it that they're out. And the one that I think is like that the Red Sox are going elsewhere, I think it's fine. They need pitching.
Yeah.
The Red Sox have Bayo started 28 games last year. Cutter Crawford, I think, started 23 games. And then it was Houck and Sale, 21, 20, and 20. You pick up Shohei, all of a sudden you haven't picked up any more starts for next season.
You haven't, no.
So to me, the Red Sox should have been out a long time ago. They wanted to see the flop, use a poker reference, and now they're like, crap. No, we're out. We're folding. They gotta go find actual starts. So the guy you were talking about, I think, Monty, as much as he was a Yankee coming up,
yeah,
I'd like to see him maybe shift a little Beantown.
Yeah.
He's a guy that makes all his starts. He did last year. You're getting a little bit of youth. Anyway, you need somebody that puts up 30 starts. I think Bayo will this year, but I think the Red Sox are the team that should have been out a long time ago unless Shohei was pitching.
Agreed.
Well, he's pitching supposedly in 2025, but I get what you're saying. They need pitching for next year. I mean, you could accomplish both technically, Kratz. I mean, the Red Sox have been spending a little more mid-market-ish than they have top of the market, which is a problem for them. So technically they could get both done, but I get what you're saying. I think, though, the expectations will be high for them then to really patch up the rotation. I think that's a must for them. I mean, it should involve probably two pretty significant pitchers. They should be in on Monty. They should be heavily in on Yamamoto, even though he's going to cost a ton. It's a long-term option for them if they're into him, but then others as well. I mean, Imanaga actually is going to get a ton of money too and is supposed to be a big deal. It's kind of a low velo guy, but high spin. I think he's going to be maybe projected as a pretty solid number 3 starter, I would say, but a guy that, probably is going to get himself 5 or 6 years, low hundreds mil based on what the starting pitching market looks like right now. A guy that's proven he's gotten it done over in Japan for, I believe, 8 seasons now. So I get what you're saying. Back to Ohtani for a moment here. Do we still feel the same way, Todd Father, about the teams that are still in it? So Dodgers front runner based on what they can offer. And when I say what they can offer, it's consistent winner, probably an environment that he likes, money. Who do you think on that list, if you have them as the front runner, would be second of the teams that the pass and set are still involved? Cubs, Blue Jays, Angels, Giants.
Don't take my team.
I know we talked about this before. I'll let Eric take his team.
No. Wait, I'm going to stop you. Todd, do you know the rule on this show?
You take yours.
Take whatever.
You have to take yours, and even if we all agree on the same thing, it has to be the same. Because the TV pet peeve I have.
This isn't my first rodeo. This isn't my first rodeo.
Okay. I'm just making sure.
I'm saying the next team on that list would be the Cubs. You just see, what's going to happen with Bellinger. I mean, what's going to happen with other guys that are coming in and out. You got a new manager coming in. I think that would be a huge splash for Chicago. It would kind of catapult them to being the team they need to be, even though he can't pitch. It's one of those things where him at Wrigleyville, I mean, dude, the crowd there, day games, the excitement of him just dropping absolute tanks. I think the Cubs would be the second behind. The one that's intriguing to me is the Blue Jays. I mean, you think they haven't really got that big name. They got names from their system, but they haven't really got that big name to come up there to the north. But I would say the Cubs would be next in line.
Blue Jays.
Really?
Blue Jays.
No, you didn't tell me that before.
This is it. The Blue Jays
are it. Yeah, you told me Yamamoto. Never mind. No, I don't believe that. I don't think so at all.
The reason is the exact same reason I was talking about the Red Sox. The Red Sox, they don't have any starting pitching. They need it. The Blue Jays, they had 4 guys with 29 or more starts last year.
That's great.
They're going to inject this man into this lineup that has some dudes that dropped off last year, dudes that need a slap in the face to be like, hey, you know what? You're a young guy. You've been an MVP candidate. You need to show up. And this, if they get Shohei Ohtani, that shifts the American League East in their favor because of what they should have done last year. They didn't do it. They should have done it last year. And the thing that they can sell, because there's the whole advertising dollars, it's your country. You are Japan. Now you are Canada. They will sell him all over
I agree with
country.
That. 100%.
And they have so much money that it is.
I just don't see him going. I don't see it.
If the Blue Jays want to win the World Series, this is the move. 100%.
You saying World Series winners?
Yes.
Oof.
And look at their window, guys. Look at their window.
Yes.
I mean, the window.
You're saying going to the
soon.
World Series though with one guy.
One guy, Shohei Ohtani.
What? Not next year.
They become the American League.
I don't think they're. You talk about your pitching, but I still don't think it holds up. In my opinion, they can't. The Orioles right now are the dominant team.
Show up. Okay.
I'm saying
Boston.
they show up. I'm saying
Bassett.
they show up. That's great. Great. What happened last year?
They got bounced in the first round. But
okay,
this team on paper should be way better, and I think they're running out of time. Vladdy Jr. and Bo Bichette are gone after 2025. I think they'll probably keep one of them, but they might lose the other, or they might trade the other. But Gausman, Bassett, Barrios, Kikuchi bounced back. Maybe they add another starter. Obviously, they're waiting to see what happens with Manoah.
If all of a sudden they do get Ohtani, they got to get if they keep this is their all right. We go get this big dog. They got to keep getting a couple more other guys, and then I would say all right. Then we got something going here.
Okay.
I think Imanaga is the second place for him. I think Boston he's going to be their second pitcher that they pick up if they want to move in, and that's the whole question. Do they want to move in, and do they want to win a World Series, or do they just want to be like, man, I hope. Look what the Rangers did at the trade deadline. They weren't hoping. They moved all in to make it to the World Series. Almost missed it, and then they swept through the playoffs. Like, to me, Shohei makes a huge difference.
Oh, my God, without a doubt.
With that team than any other team.
So you're saying it kind of helps out with Vladdy and Bo kind of. It's like, hey, this is the guy now. Let me just play now. I could see that. But you can say in World Series, I'm like, I don't know. Not yet.
I think they
A
become.
lot of people have picked them to go to the World Series the last 2-3 years, and they have
Just hasn't
underperformed.
happened.
And
Yeah.
their
fell
offense
short.
was not consistent enough this past season,
Exactly.
despite what they had on paper. And also, the ballpark played much more pitcher friendly than they expected. It actually looked like the adjustments they made would make it more hitter friendly, and they became more pitcher friendly. The ballpark became a more home run suppressed ballpark this past season, and no one has the exact reason why scientifically. The one other thing I'll say about Toronto, Mike Wilner writes about them for the Toronto Star, and I think we're going to have him on next week. I heard him on a show where he said the Blue Jays have two budgets right now. They have their normal offseason budget, and then they have their Ohtani, he calls it unicorn budget, because you have to keep in mind the business that Ohtani could bring to the entire country of Canada and freaking sweep that fan base for the next 5 to 10 years. So we're going to talk to Ken Rosenthal later about the business side of what Ohtani brings to the table.